Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Fresh face-off took place between the TMC and the BJP as the latter's women's team led by MP Locket Chatterjee was detained on its way to Sandeshkhali in West Bengal. This after the local BJP chief Sukanta Majumdar's visit to the area was obstructed yesterday. Taking on the TMC government, the BJP has now announced a 3-day dharna from Feb 26 to 28. The ruling party is countering the charges of the opposition party, saying that every day BJP leaders line up to visit the area despite the imposition of Section 144, and perhaps they want to keep the issue boiling ahead or till Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit next week. War of words continuing even as anger is growing against TMC strongman Sheikh Jahan, who has been long absconding since January 5, and his family and associates. Now, hitting back at the BJP's charge over leniency on Shah Jahan's arrest, TMC has said that West Bengal police did arrest 17 others along with key aides Uttam Sadar and Shibu Hazra. But the responsibility of arresting Shah Jahan was with the Enforcement Directorate, while also blaming a stay order by a court on the FIR on the party leader as the reason an arrest cannot happen just yet. But is that really the reason? A key accused who has been brought into the limelight by hundreds of women cannot be arrested? Meanwhile, West Bengal DGP Rajiv Kumar finally visited the area and spoke to locals. He has assured that no accused will be spared. This is the first such assurance coming in from the top cop nearly 3 weeks after intense protests by women who were first maligned no end for coming out. It's also been 50 days since the TMC strongman has been missing. There is palpable anger in Sandeshkhali. So will the state really step up, stop making excuses and arrest Shah Jahan? We take that question to our guests in just a bit. Take a look at the faces of the Sandeshkhali horror that are now coming to light. There will be plenty more, but these are the key men who have been identified. Of course, at the top is Sheikh Shah Jahan. He's been absconding for 50 days now, and we still really do not know by when he's going to be arrested. A lot of speculations are going on, but it's best not to enter that. He is, of course, linked to two accused, Shibu Hazra and Uttam Sadar, who have now been arrested. But remember, it took the state quite some time to lodge cases against them of torture, sexual assault and rape and others, and actually finally arrest them. But that has not subsided the anger if that's what the state was anticipating. Now the attention has also shifted to Sheikh Sirajuddin. He's the brother of Sheikh Shah Jahan, and he was actually spotted in the village. There was so much anger against him that the locals started attacking him and the properties that he has in that area. He seemingly went to that village after many days of Shah Jahan missing to assert his fiefdom, because locals allege that he has grabbed their land quite like Shah Jahan, the brother, has, and treated Sandeshkhali as their kingdom. And there are also allegations of torture against Sirajuddin as well. We'll wait and see what happens to him. Politically, there is a lot of action on ground. TMC and BJP are locked in an intense face-off. Let me just break down where both parties stand. The BJP is constantly trying to up the ante and, turn up the heat as far as the state government is concerned. So, their LOP, Suvendu Adhikari, has moved the High Court again, is seeking to visit Sandeshkhali again. This is what the TMC is saying meanwhile. They are basically now saying that we've taken action. They're citing the sacking of Minister Jyoti Malik as well as action that the government continues to take. But what is the BJP saying? Now they're saying they're planning a dharna between February 26 and 28, while TMC says, look at the fact that we've arrested the key aides, the ones that I mentioned earlier. BJP has even released a documentary on the horror and abuse, quote-unquote, coming out from Sandeshkhali, while the TMC is now also pointing to the fact that the DGP has finally ensured or assured action against those involved in torture. But that has only come now. Possibly they were wishing all of this will go away. BJP claims that women leaders are being arrested. Certainly some of them on their way were detained. We don't quite know exactly what happens to them. But the TMC is saying that we have zero tolerance against corruption and we are not going to tolerate or make any alibis for anybody. But remember, is this coming too late is a question that the TMC as a party and the TMC government will face. And here is why. Did they wake up too late? Are they finally waking up? These are the questions we ask. How did this all start? Let's not forget that women in Sandeshkhali have leveled allegations of local police refusing to register cases or their complaints when they initially came out to light or when they tried to do so over the last 10-12 years. They even went on to say that police asked them to sort out differences with the accused. They sent them back to the likes of Hazra and Sardar and Sheikh Shah Jahan. Women claim local police refused to file FIRs against Sheikh Shah Jahan especially, and till today there is actually no FIR of sexual assault or abuse or anything else from the fallout of this case so far. Then what happens? Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee defends the key accused Shah Jahan inside assembly. The Chief Minister and the TMC question the versions of the women coming out on media, their backgrounds and why they were levelling the allegations. The West Bengal police, remember, meanwhile, insisted there were no complaints of rape. So, there's no need for any outrage, as if sexual assault that was being mentioned by the women will stop just as sexual assault. It's not really something that should be looked at as gravely, as seriously as rape. They insisted that there are no such charges, but obviously later agencies went to Sandeshkhali. They have since lodged some complaints. Now, after days and days of protests by the women, denial by the state government initially, Shah Jahan's aides were finally arrested. This was the first turning point. Now West Bengal DGP Rajiv Kumar has spent an entire night in Sandeshkhali, and he has said that police is listening to each and every complaint in Sandeshkhali. Of course, this is welcome, but has it come too late? With that, the other big question we ask is simply this: just how long is it going to take for Shah Jahan's arrest, and is the state still making excuses on that front?
Party is arranging one dharna. We have applied for the permission from 26 to 28 at Gandhi Murti.
वो अपने खुद के कंस्टिट्यूएंसी में नहीं जाता है और चला गया वो संदेशखाली फोटो शूट करने.
Was such a type of multi-dimension criminalization of politics and its subsequent political patronage and protection is unforeseen, unprecedented in Indian history.
करने का ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी किसका है? तो ईडी का है. केस तो ईडी का है.
এরকম যদি কোনো লোক ল অ্যান্ড অর্ডার ভাঙার চেষ্টা করছে ওর अगेंस्ट ফার্স্ট ব্যবস্থা.
Let's go across to the guest joining us, Mohammad Tausifur Rahman, spokesperson of the TMC, Charu Pragya from the BJP. I will be joined by Bhavna Bajaj, former consultant of NHRC and NCPCR, two national bodies on human rights and child rights. She's also part of a team that is going to Sandeshkhali soon, this weekend, to look at the situation on ground. AK Jain is former DGP and security expert with us. I do thank you all for your time. Tausif, I want to begin with you.
Yes,
on one hand, the TMC is saying it's not our responsibility to arrest Sheikh Shah Jahan. On another hand, your National General Secretary Abhishek is giving an excuse almost that, see, we can't arrest Shah Jahan because there's a stay by the High Court on the FIR, and that has tied the hands of the state administration. Which one is it? Is it that the ED is not arresting, or you are unable to arrest Sheikh Shah Jahan?
Good evening, Shivani. Shivani, it's been 10 days, 12 days, and I'm doing a show with you almost every day. And you know the whole scenario as well, what is happening in Sandeshkhali. Well, when you talk about our General Secretary, he was very clear that the force will take its own thing and the action will be taken. Now, when it's about Sheikh Shah Jahan, I mean, if you just listen to me, there's 45 days, 50 days, ED went to raid on Sheikh Shah Jahan without notice, and there was instigation, there was provoking, and even ED got hurt as well, which we never supported. We wanted to support ED at every cost. But now the whole scenario has been changing, and it is in front of your eyes. I mean, I'm sure that you must be knowing that there is a raid in Howrah Dhulagarh where 6 minor, like 4 adults and 2 minor girls have been taken out from there, and Sabyasachi Ghosh, a BJP leader, has been arrested in this whole big prostitution racket.
That's
Well,
welcome.
of
That's
course-
welcome. The problem
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah,
nobody is opposing
But-
that.
but I need to-
Nobody will
I need to
defend that,
I
and that is
need
very
this. I need
welcome
to
if
guide
anything illegal was going on. But I don't understand how that explains the Sandeshkhali conundrum. One second. I asked you a very direct question. Sure, but I asked you a very direct question. I asked you a very direct question, simple question. On one hand, you blame the ED for not arresting Sheikh Shah Jahan. On another hand, you're saying we can't do it because there's a stay on the FIR on him. It can't be both, right? You can't just say, oh, it's not our responsibility. On another hand, say it is our responsibility, but right now our hands are tied.
Bengal is our responsibility. The people of Bengal is our responsibility. They have voted us. They have given us the blessing. So definitely it's our responsibility. But the whole massacre and facade created by ED shall not come on to us. ED needs to come right.
What did you say? What created by ED?
This facade, this whole facade has been created by ED.
Use the word massacre.
Facade
Did I
as in
hear?
what?
Yes, of course. Wait, let me complete. What they did back in 50 days, I mean, you need to trust me, Shivani. I mean, it's in front of your eyes. I can't lie. You can send your journalists right now in Sandeshkhali and have a word what they have done with Sandeshkhali people.
What have they done? You tell me, what is your contention?
Why did they instigate the people of Sandeshkhali?
How
Why
did they instigate the
provoke
people of Sandeshkhali? Can you tell me?
Ask the people of Sandeshkhali. Yeah, they were attacked, you know that. And what they were doing with the people of Sandeshkhali? They heckled the people of Sandeshkhali. They tortured the people of Sandeshkhali.
Sorry, heckled and what? One second. Your audio is not very clear. They heckled and what?
They tortured the people of Sandeshkhali.
Tortured the people of Sandeshkhali. Where are these allegations coming in from?
I'm telling you, I'm a responsible person sitting on a national television as a TMC spokesperson, and I'm responsible. My statement is not.
So that is the reason why you can't arrest Sheikh Shah Jahan.
The course will take it somewhere. The action will be taken. But
when it's been 50 days.
The whole Shibu Hajra has been arrested. Why? There was an FIR with Shibu Hajra. He has been arrested.
You are unwilling to lodge an FIR on Sheikh Shah Jahan. We've been through this road, Tausif. There are women after women who have come out and named Sheikh Shah Jahan. You are not creating a conducive atmosphere. One second, you're not creating a conducive atmosphere for women to come out and register complaints against Sheikh Shah Jahan. Some of them have been registered by external bodies, and we hope that the state agency also wakes up. But I'm just curious, you say there is no FIR, so we can't act. Somebody else, Abhishek Banerjee, says that there is a stay on the FIR by the EDs. That's why we can't act. Another of your ministers said, I think Shashi Panja said that it's the ED, or the lady next to Shashi Panja said that, it's the ED's responsibility. It's a hodgepodge of narratives. I'm sorry to say, they all sound like excuses. Charu Pragya wants to come in. Charu, one second. Tausif, one second. It cannot be that you blame the ED for raiding an individual who's an accused in a corruption case. The ED doesn't roll out a red carpet. The ED doesn't give you notices before a raid. The ED doesn't give you an opportunity to hide evidence and run away. That's not how an ED... that's not how it's done. The fact that you say that this is a facade and a drama created by ED is being heard by people in Sandeshkhali every day, day in, day out, by the Chief Minister and everybody else. And this is why women are not coming forward to police stations. In any case, women have said on camera that police is unwilling to register their cases. They've tried it in the past. They have no faith in this local police.
You don't want to listen to me.
I'll give you 15 seconds more and then I'll go across to our other guests.
You know what? I challenge one of the officer from ED who went to Sandeshkhali to come on your show, which is a very important show. I like this show. It's a very interesting debate what we do every day at 6 p.m. with you. And you make your points very clear.
Why would an officer be obligated to come on a television debate? He's not answerable to you.
Make our points clear as well. No. We are here to make our points clear. Now, why don't you call one of the officer from the ED and call me
ED is going to make itself clear in court. You know that they don't fight
Why?
these political battles
Exactly,
in media. There's a
Let's-
certain
let's-
protocol that an agency follows, but that cannot be an
Exactly.
excuse for what the state can or cannot do. Humbly,
Let's
I'd
go-
say,
let's go
humbly,
to
I
the-
tell to you.
and
But now,
and
hold on.
somebody said-
Tasif, now hold on. I don't want to speak over you. Charu Pragya wants to come in. Charu Pragya, the state is saying, look at everything we've done. The DGP has now gone and spent a night there. We are assuring the women of Sandeshkhali we will act. What is the problem?
Shivani, a very good evening to you, and give me just 1 minute to go over everything Tausif has said and everything that I want to add. A DGP who's cooperating today is the same DGP who did not cooperate with NCW when Rekha Sharma ji visited, right? Her written report says that the DGP didn't cooperate, so much so that the SP didn't even send a police team with the NCW team when they were visiting Sandeshkhali. It is only after an uproar that was created later in the media, the DG as an afterthought might have decided to cooperate. But let's remember, he didn't do it in the beginning because, as usual, West Bengal police was seen colluding with the culprits instead of standing on the other side to help the victims in a situation as horrifying as this. Yet again, the West Bengal police was caught on the wrong side of the fence, and I am not saying this without facts backing my claim, Shivani. Let me remind you of the post-poll violence. You know how badly that went on, and two examples from that I will take. One old woman aged 65 years
Shivani,
who was a victim of
One
rape.
second,
Her
I'll come to you.
FIR was
Tasif, I'll
not
come to you.
registered by the
Tasif, I'll come
West
to you. She's
Bengal
answering
police.
my question, which is why I'm not
Tasif-
interrupting her. If anybody answers my direct question directly, I will not interrupt. Don't do what about it. That's what I don't
Shivani,
like.
please
Yes,
allow
Pragya.
me to finish
Yes,
the
Charu.
points that I'm making, and Tosin, please don't interrupt me. I'm going to go back. The 65-year-old woman had to come to the Supreme Court in New Delhi, and the Supreme Court then directed the West Bengal police to file an FIR. Example number 2, 400 accused in the post-poll violence were served notices by the Supreme Court as recently as last week. West Bengal police did not act on it. Now you are drawing these comparisons and you are talking about the ED and the police, etc., etc., and the TMC is giving confusing statements. Shivani, let's get one thing clear. When the TMC wanted to find a scapegoat, they found not one but two. Shibu is behind bars and this Uttam Sardar is behind bars. They are both kicked out of the TMC. But you know what? Not just Sheikh Shahjahan is not behind bars. He's not even been kicked out of the political party that he very proudly represents. So
TMC
much so that
says
when
there is
ED
no
comes
case against
for
him.
a raid, a logical legal raid. No, how does TMC decide? Why doesn't the ED decide that and says there's no case?
No, they're
They
saying
claim
as
it's a
far
search
as
warrant. You know what happened?
they're saying that legally, as far
No,
as
no, let me
these
finish.
charges are concerned of sexual assault, possibly rape, there is no complaint against Sheikh Shahjahan directly, which is why we can't act.
Shivani,
And
give me 20 seconds.
no,
I'm
coming to that.
Charu
I'm coming
first,
to that.
Charu
You know
first.
what happened if a ED team comes with a search warrant and there is a crowd, a mob of more than 500 people beating back the team which has only come to do its job. 3 officers get injured. Does it sound like there is nothing to hide here? Something more sinister is not going on? Absolutely not. Even in this case, the police was the one who apparently in the dead of the night went knocking on the doors of the victims, the women, and they were told to basically shut up. Otherwise, the wrath will be faced by their children and their husbands. How will they speak up? How will we take names? And there is a chief minister who, without the investigation getting concluded, stands up in the assembly and basically gives a clean chit. Basically, she says that nothing has happened in Sandeshkhali, and her spokespersons come and call it drama. They say harassment is going on. This is a facade. How shameless can you get? These women are on camera actually talking about what they have suffered through for
possibly
years.
what is also happening.
Systematic exploitation of them.
Possibly, Tasif, I'll give you
Some
30
of
seconds.
these ladies
One
were
second.
not even adults. They were minors. They were minors.
Yeah, no, Tasif, possibly what is happening is you thought this will go away and some sort of browbeating of the women who've come out, maybe, you know, you will break their back and their bravado and their bravery and they'll go back. That's not happening. You're having to wake up.
No, and first of all, Shivani, I would like to ask Charuji that not to attack me personally and calling me shameless because, if I say something again, it will be a woman card that I don't know how to speak with a woman. But
I'm
anyway,
calling your
when
party shameless. I did not personally attack
you
you.
told me also
I
that,
am calling
she's
the
posting
entire
on the same,
stand
it's
of
okay, Charuji,
TMC
I
very
will
fake and very
Okay, she's
shameless.
clarified. Tasir, go ahead, quickly.
I mean, when you say Bengal police shelling Sheikh Shah, utter nonsense, Shivani. Let me talk about the Bengal police as well. When the whole India is talking about Bengal police, the ones backing on this should know that the stay under Calcutta High Court and FIR of the state has been hands of the state administration and standing its way of arresting. I mean, if you talk about the party stand, you know, from Partho Chatterjee, Jyoti Malik, no one has been spared. And arrest of Uttam Sardar, Shivu Hajra for the complicity is alleged violence in Sandeshkhali. Then the charges against Mamata Banerjee administration of showing leniency to only one accused are completely baseless. Who caught Sharda Kingpin? Charuji, I'm asking you. I mean, it's a good thing. No, we are talking. Who caught Sharda Kingpin from Kashmir? It was the state police. Trinamool has a zero tolerance. You're not going to
You're just
tolerate that.
repeating
You
what
want an
Abhishek Banerjee
investigation.
has said. I already
No,
mentioned what he
no,
has said. 1 second.
You
But that is
wanted,
not
you
adding up,
wanted
na?
clarifications.
Tasif, the
You
question I
wanted
asked you very
clarifications.
first at the
You
beginning was
wanted
that this is not adding
investigation.
up. This is not adding
Happened.
up because at one,
What
you've just
happened?
woken up and said, oh, there's a stay, so that's why we can't do something. Till yesterday, you weren't saying this. And then your spokespersons also say it is not our responsibility. You sit here and say this is anyways a facade and a drama. The ED is responsible for all of this.
It is.
Where is
The
your heart
biggest,
and
the
mind as
biggest
far as
state
this
police,
case is
state
concerned? Is the
enforcement
question.
director.
Okay, 1 second.
The
AK
biggest,
Jain, I want to go
biggest
across to
culprit
AK
is
Jain. We are having some difficulty with Bhavna's link. But AK Jain, I want to come to you. The fact that the Trinamool Congress is now saying that, listen, there is a stay on the FIR by the High Court, which is why we can't act. Now, that situation is different. That was a different case. Since then, an entire other situation has played out where woman after woman has come out naming Sheikh Shah Jahan and saying, this man has been harassing us. He's been grabbing our land. He's involved in torture and he's the kingpin. And still there is no FIR against Shah Jahan. Does this add up? Are the state government's hands tied to this extent? They can't even lodge an FIR, suo moto, and they cannot actually go and search for Shah Jahan?
TMC is naturally being guided by its Chief Minister of West Bengal. Because Chief Minister has defended Shah Jahan Sheikh in assembly, on the floor of the assembly, the entire party and police force and administration is out there to shield Sheikh Shah Jahan. And I tell you that if they keep on doing it, if they are trying to hide the truth, they will keep on speaking lies and they will expose themselves. The only course, in my opinion, as ex-police officer before West Bengal police is, and with the West Bengal government is, that two committees should be set up. One of lady police officers with full powers, without any control over them, to lodge cases, to talk to women, lodge cases, and take action against the culprits, to restore confidence amongst women of West Bengal. Number two is that in cases of land grabbing, team should be set up, joint team should be set up of revenue department and police department. They should set up a camp, and if in the camp, if there is a complaint that such and such land has been grabbed, immediate measurement should be done on the ground. And if kabza is there, if illegal occupation is there, if a pond has been set up on their land, they are tribals. You see, you have to accept this, that they are tribals. And if it is done, immediately the area should be, the plot should be restored to the allottee, and case should be registered against the encroachers. If this technique is adopted, I think the political temperature in Sandeshkhali will come down. Action will be taken against goons, and it will be a clear message. If Mamata Banerjee and TMC want that a message should go to the criminals, then this will be a message which will go across West Bengal.
So as far as
Yeah.
So as far as the local police is concerned, they did form an SIT headed by a female officer who did go to Sandeshkhali. They say they went door to door, but there were no rape complaints that came forward to them, which is why the Bengal police then came out even on social media to say, listen, there are no rape complaints. But I don't think that this matter is so technical about whether it's sexual assault and torture or rape. That is irrelevant in this case. What is important is, one second, what is important, one second, Taseef, 1 second, please don't speak over me, please lower his fader, please. What is more important is that institutional sexual harassment and more has come to light over a period of time, and women have found courage to come out and say this. They may stop short in front of camera to say, oh, we were sexually assaulted. That doesn't mean just because they're not using the word rape, you know how you have to understand the victim's mentality here. Just because they're not using the word rape or balatkar doesn't mean that that's not what they're talking about. So an environment needed to be created. The West Bengal team did go there, they didn't find any complaints, but then when the NHRC, when the NCW and the NCST, etc. went there, they did find complaints. So what are we supposed to believe? I want to go across to the former consultant of NHRC and NCPCR, Bhavna Bajaj, who's joining us. Bhavna, I think you with your rest of your team, including a former judge, is going to Sandeshkhali over the next 2 days. What are you hoping to achieve? A lot of teams have already visited. What are you hoping to achieve?
We are on the way.
You are on the way, okay.
We are on the way to Sandeshkhali, and this is not our first visit. This is our 4th visit in West Bengal. We went there at post-poll violence time. We went there at Ramnami violence time, and we have seen such a brutality and such a nonsense there. पूरा का पूरा उनका पुलिस का महकमा ये उस पे लग जाता है कि हम उस जगह पर ना पहुंचे. I mean, ये काम वायलेंस को रोकने के लिए नहीं होता, ये पोस्टपोल वायलेंस को रोकने के लिए नहीं होता, ये रामनवमी के दंगे को रोकने के लिए नहीं होता, ये सिर्फ ईडी के लिए होता है, ये एनएचआरसी के लिए, एनसीपीसीआर के लिए होता है. और फिर उसके बाद ये कहते हैं कि वो टीम आकर फसाद करती है. वो फसाद करती हैं या उनके जो दुख है उसमें मरहम रखते हैं.
So now you're going to Sandeshkhali. आप क्या अचीव करना चाह रहे हैं? आप क्या, आपकी उम्मीद क्या है कि आपको वहाँ पे, भावना इस केस में ना क्या हो रहा है?
हम उसके यहाँ उसके पास
जी भावना, इसके एक सेकंड, इस केस में क्या हो रहा है ना कि लोकल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन बोल रही है कि हमारे पास कंप्लेंट्स नहीं आ रही, जो एक्सटर्नल बॉडीज जा रही है उनको कंप्लेंट्स मिल रही हैं अलेजेडली, बट एक्शन तो लोकल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को ही लेना पड़ेगा अंटिल देयर इज ए हाई कोर्ट और अ सुप्रीम कोर्ट मॉनिटर्ड प्रोब. तो मेन चीज ये है कि आप कितनी कंप्लेंट्स वहां पे रजिस्टर करा सकते हैं, कितना सिक्योरिटी आप विमेन को दे सकते हैं, और वो केस लीगली ऐसे आगे कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं. तो व्हाट इज योर होप एंड गोइंग देयर एंड व्हाट डू यू होप टू अचीव? भावना, भावना जी, आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है? Okay, let's try and reconnect with her. But you just heard, Taseef, what she said. She said she's been to West Bengal.
Can I come in?
1 second, Charu. She's been to West Bengal on 3 previous occasions, and on similar cases of post-poll violence, Ram Navami violence, and the kind of friction they get, visiting teams get from the police, is not the kind of bandobast the teams do, the police do, for actual victims or against accused.
Shivani, sometimes I feel I should believe you only rather than believing these National Commission women who's just becoming a mouthpiece of Bharatiya Janata Dal Party. I don't want to believe them. It's okay. Whatever they want to narrate a Shakespeare story, a Julius Caesar story, and they want to tell it to the world that what is happening in Bengal, it has become like an Afghanistan. I'm not going to take that thing. We are not going to buy that. Even the people of West Bengal is not buying anything, because the only thing they want that the truth should come out, not by saying just by my mouth. The evidence should be there. And when I told you always, Shivani, I respect each and every testimony. No. I respect each and every statement coming from any woman. But you can't do a drama by sending NCW by hiring those mouthpiece from Bharatiya Janata Dal Party. I understand
Drama, that's
Charu ji is
their
an
job.
official.
You realize that?
Charu ji is an official BJP spokesperson.
It's their
I totally
job.
respect
No,
her.
it's not fair
I
for you to
totally
just
respect her.
dismiss
NCW's
people
job
who are
is that.
raising concerns by branding them.
But
I'm not in favor of that.
NCW
And that's
Can I come
never
in,
an
please?
exercise that goes very...
Can I come in?
Bhavna is back with us, but yes, Charu, go ahead very quickly.
This is my opinion.
Tasif,
So,
limited time.
हमारी
Charu,
get
Charu.
one thing
बोलना
straight.
चाहूंगी मैं एक बात बोलना
If
चाहूंगी
everything
अगर
was
time-
hunky
Okay, one by
dory
one,
and
one by
perfect
one.
there,
Bhavna ji, I'm coming to you
wouldn't
next,
have
Charu.
arrested a journalist.
Yes, Charu.
You know, Shivani, they arrested a journalist only for carrying out his duty. A journalist was thrown behind bars. The High Court in West Bengal was scathing in the judgment they have written, scathing against the TMC dispensation there. Do you think that you would have done that if you had nothing to hide? Tell me. Do you think you would have beaten back ED if you had nothing to hide? Do you think your police would be discouraging women and scaring them into not filing an FIR? And when they wanted to, they wouldn't be noting it down, so much so like past, they might need to come to Delhi to register it.
Okay.
So please, do not blame people and call them BJP supporters only because they are raising a voice for what is right. I assure you, every single person in this country is going to stand against those perpetrators, and if you can't do that, something's wrong
You
with
know,
your party.
we are all wise enough to accept that local administration bows down to local strongmen. It's not a phenomenon that is restricted to West Bengal. We've seen it in other parts of the country. But what you do hope that when it comes to light, it will be cracked down upon, including local administration, heads will roll and they will get a message that this will not be business as usual. Unfortunately, in this case, that hasn't happened. Something could have been done about that so that there could have been reassurance that, okay, if police officials haven't heard you so far, we're going to make sure that we have fresh minds and eyes and people there, and we are going to tell them to actually do so. Bhavna is back with us. Bhavna, sorry you got interrupted and we lost your link. Very quickly, you wanted to come in. 30 seconds.
I just want to say कि ये जो बोलते हैं कि ईडी और एनएचआरसी, हम लोग तो एक सिविल सोसाइटी के मेंबर्स हैं. हम लोग के सबकी कंप्लेंट्स को कलेक्ट करके सुप्रीम कोर्ट और हाई कोर्ट में पहुंचाते रहे हैं और पहुंचाएंगे. और पहले भी हमने बहुत सारी महिलाओं को यहाँ बुलाया. ये हमको वहां तक नहीं पहुंचने देते तो हम उनको अपने पास बुलाते हैं. ये वो बात नहीं करने देते तो हम खुद कलेक्ट करते हैं उनकी कंप्लेंट को. अभी हमने जो एनएचआरसी में भी कंप्लेंट दी है, उसमें भी महिलाओं की कंप्लेंट उसमें अटैच करके दी है. तो कितना भी छुपा लेंगे, सच को छुपा नहीं पाएंगे. और जो मैं उन महिलाओं को दिल से धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ जो इतनी परेशानी के बाद भी वो कम से कम बाहर तो आई हैं, उस सच को बोलने की हिम्मत तो की है.
Right.
हमारा जो कंसर्न है वो उनकी सेफ्टी है, उन महिलाओं की सेफ्टी है, उनके बच्चों की सेफ्टी है. क्योंकि अभी तक उनको ये बोल के ही धमकाया जाता था और बुलाया जाता था कि तुम्हारे जो पति हैं या तुम्हारे बच्चे हैं उनके साथ हम कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. यही हमारा कंसर्न है.
Okay.
तो उसके लिए, इसी के लिए हम लोग बार बार जाते रहे हैं और जाते रहेंगे. ये हमें ना पहले रोक पाए हैं ना अब रोक पाएंगे.
जी, Bhavna, I do appreciate you joining us. We'll connect with you and your team again after your visit as well. And I do thank the rest of our guests for joining us on our first debate as well.